just a brief about Jeff and Naval. I'll begin with Naval. Naval has been playing squash at the club for 100 years? No, okay. He's been playing squash ever since he can remember. And he's a part of the CCI squash fraternity. He's been a vice president at the club. And a massive supporter of not just squash, but also for us at Chance to Sports. A lot of what we do goes through him, and his inputs and support is invaluable to us. Jeff, although he needs no introduction, but for people out here to know, he's a 7-time World Masters champion in squash. That is something not just a sports person will understand, but everybody who understands anything about sport will realize that just to play a world event is huge. To win it once is incredibly massive, but to win it 7 times, I mean, give me a break. So, I'd just like Naval to come across and say a few words, and then I'll have Jeff, and then, oh sorry, for the moment I would like Abhinav to please come, my founder of SportsSkill. And yes, we just have a small felicitation. Naval, could you please present this to Jeff?
Yeah, this is for you. Thank you.
I would like Jeff to present a similar one to Naval. No formality.
Thank you.
Naval,
Yeah.
mic's yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's just a little more than a few words, so if you would forgive me if I take a little time over this, but I think there are a lot of things that need to be said, need to be explained, so please excuse me. I have known Mr. Sinha, they call him now Abhinav, and Chetan for many, many years. They are both founders of this very new and unique sort of establishment which is supporting squash and supporting, of course, other games. But it's something which has not been done before, and I think it's very creditable that they've managed to get so far. Especially in view of the fact that these girls and boys over here have been, till 2 years back, unheard of. Nobody knew what they did, nobody knew how they played. Whatever efforts they put into making them champions, I think that is very creditable, and I'd like to doff my hat to that. Coaching and training in India is a very simple thing to say, but a very difficult thing to do. We have the facilities, but do we have the players? Do we have the support staff for it? We do, but it's very sporadic, and it needs to be structured and made into a more formal fashion so that we can really turn out international champions. And I'm talking of international champions, not a club champion or something like that. And that is not going to come so easily because that requires a lot of money. These children who have come out have come from a little town called Kalam, where there is a joke of a squash court, but they still play over there. And the fact that they come so far, especially this girl, and the girls and boys also, Akansha Gupta, Ankita Dubey, Vasundhara, who I saw personally over here 2-3 years back when she said the only place I learned my squash was from YouTube, which is again something that struck me as unique. And how did she learn? It's just that she saw the players, saw the footwork and picked it up. And there are of course a young junior boy called Vedant Shinde also. And through the efforts of Chance to Sports, it's players like them that have come out. And I think to myself that if in one little village, which is I hadn't heard of before, we could get 2 champions. Today they're national level. And can you imagine what must be the potential that is available just in the 4,000 or 5,000 villages of Maharashtra? Forget the country. So I think every encouragement and every help needs to be given to Chance to Sports to see that more potential can be exploited and the champions brought out. The work that they're doing in Pune with respect to the squash court, the squash complex that they put up in the middle of Pune, I think is great. But more important is that they have also started an education program for the children who are not only training for squash, but they are also studying at the same time, which goes a long way in persuading the parents to allow them to stay in Pune, because they, in their villages and little towns, there's no hope that they can learn squash or even progress in any way. We need to create champions, and the only way to do it is have a good coach, trainer, support staff, and things like that. And for that, if one wants to reach an international level, I was told to my great surprise, there's nothing less than 10 million rupees is going to be needed for 1 year. So that's where this appeal comes from. Okay, we need to do it. We have the background. More important, we have a history of squash. Why is it that we are not able to take out world champions? And I'm talking of world champions, not national champions again and again. So let's see if we can all get together, try and do something for the game, such that next time that if I'm asked to speak, that I can say now with hand on heart that yes, they've done a better job than I expected, and we've got not one but two champions on the way. So I wish them all the best, and I hope that it all works out well. Thank you.
Hello everybody, how are you? It's a great pleasure to be able to be here today and to be in India for the Mumbai Masters, and to be asked to actually come and see the Chance to Sports Foundation kids that were training there during the week, and to be involved with that was very motivating and uplifting. These young players are very, very focused and just want to learn. And to see the whole environment that's been created by Chaitan and Abhinav and his team of coaches, and the coaches there are just as passionate as the kids are. You know, there's 4 of them here today. Put your hands up, coaches. So these coaches that are helping out and helping make sure this program runs. I mean, we came in the afternoon, but they'd already run a session sort of early in the day each day for these kids, and just built on the activities that we did the day before. So to come and see things like this from my perspective, where we live in Australia, which is, you know, we don't have as much of this sort of lower socio-economic sort of background that maybe some of these kids have come from. Although we have started a program to work with culturally diverse girls who have come from refugee backgrounds ourselves. It's a study squash program. But we don't have too much of that going on. And so to come and see these young kids, especially the 7 that come from this small town, and the way that they play the game and their passion for the game was just really uplifting on my part. Now, I've done a lot of coaching over the course of my life in many areas, many places, and this was truly inspiring to see this. So, you know, the more we can get behind and support this type of stuff as squash players, as sponsors, whatever you have in terms of your interaction in the game, or even for other sports, not just squash, is it? It's other sports. We're giving these kids, you know, some opportunities in life that they're probably not going to get, you know, and it's so rewarding to see it happen. So I think from, you know, my perspective, you know, having met Abhinav back in 2012 and did a little bit of coaching with him and did some coaching with some of the boys down in Pune, and then for us to develop a friendship and him to come and stay in Australia with us for a while, and to maintain this relationship now through coaching. It's a shared passion for us, you know, both. And I think these guys here have done a fantastic job, and the kids that they're producing is amazing. You know, there were 6 under 11 kids there during the camp, and they're all unbelievably good players. Unbelievably good players. So to have that many really young kids is a testament to what they're doing. Anyhow, so I'm not going to go on, rabbit on. I'm just going to say that I'm proud to be here, proud to be a part of it, and I was glad that I got asked to help, and it was really a good experience for me. So I hope you guys can help out as well. Thank you.
Before I give the mic to Abhinav, I want Noel to come back and just give you a brief idea. because he's been instrumental about a program which started this whole thing off. And not only is he instrumental, but he's taking it forward, and he will enlighten you about that program more than anybody else.
Well, like with that penny, I've come back again. But all I can say is that it is a big mistake on my part not to have mentioned the very origin of Chance to Sports. It goes back again to squash, where I had a very, very close friend who passed away a few years ago, Moshi Kanga. And his wife, now his widow, asked me one day, she wanted to put something back into the game, especially because Moshi was very, very keen on the game, like all of us at that time. So was there somebody or some organization that would help? And it was to, I think, Abhinav's good luck that he had just started doing this professionally. And I went up to him and I said, look, there is a possibility of somebody putting money back into your organization so that you can bring out more kids and champions. So that's what was done. Mrs. Kanga, who we now call Devi, has put in a lot of effort and has also loosened the purse strings and released a lot of money to make sure that the Kanga Kids program continues, and these 2-3 girls over here are products of that. So I would just like to mention that with this Kanga Kids program was the very beginning of Chance to Sports and all the other things that now Mr. Chetan and Abhinav are doing. And I look forward to getting other sponsors also, like we've had our ex-national and international champion Anil Nair also involved. We've also had friends like Chetan Mehrotra involved. So I would like that friends from here also put in a couple of paisa and do something about it. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naval. Abhinav, I'd like you to say a few words.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
That's great for celebrating my birthday. I think they have already spoken about Chance to Sports. I would like to talk more about the players where I'm most involved. Few of the players you see over here, there are many more still yet to be on the rise, but I'm proud to say that when we started with Vasundhara, she is from Kalam. 3 years back, she was not nationally ranked, very raw, as Namanaka said. They don't even have a court. As on today, they have an issue because it's raining, so half of the court is filled with water. And she's current India number 1 under 15. So we get her to Bombay to train for 10 days only in a month. And she's still training for 20 days on a court like that and being India number 1 in a elite sport, what we call squash as. So that's where I feel, and that's where Chetan also got very interested in a way that we could bring in a change. So the few things which we are doing, like Anika and Akanksha. Anika is probably one of the youngest who played the World Juniors last year from Pune. Again, similar background, not part of major clubs, training on a society court. So these kind of stories inspire us that champions can come out from different backgrounds, different places. So that's the main idea. But at the same time, our foundation focuses on starting the help from the very beginning, rather than when you become a top player and then somebody comes sponsors. Actually means a lot, but then that's not the main agenda of the foundation. The idea is to get them started early. Like we have few kids at 8 and 9 now who've come out of the similar program, looking at these players. And that kid under 9, in fact, November sponsors him now. He came and beat all the kids from Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bombay last year in 3 major tournaments in under 9 category. Wow. So again, he trains at the same court. So this is the main idea what we've been doing around scouting players, obviously hunger. So that's one part. How we are doing it, obviously there are a few instrumental things which have played big role over here. CCI as a club, you know, it's one of the elitist clubs where we're standing. Access to the facility is very restricted to members and few players. This is the first club. We just launched a program only this year. It's called Elite Pass. So to to access a facility, according to us, it's more to do with your credibility on court rather than your financial background. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of infrastructure open to the great players who are coming up. So this is, being one of the biggest clubs in the country, has accepted the offer early this year. And if you are happy to be a top 8 nationally ranked player, you have direct access to come and play over here. So that's a great initiative which was accepted, and I feel this could be adopted by most of the sporting clubs in the country. So that's one thing we should and Rishad, obviously, who played a big role in getting that done. The second thing which we are focusing right now is, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of community centers in India for squash. So we are opening a big center in Pune, where we will have access, and we've started a program for talent ID. We've already evaluated about 350 kids for last 9 months, and out of which 35 will be given a chance to come and train squash with all the world-class facility. So that's a new program we are looking at. And so yeah, these are the two major things we are doing right now. Players are quite good. Obviously, we are in Olympics now, 2028, so things get a little better. But I think we have a long way to go, because we are just following a very small group of kids right now and helping them. And this could actually become really big. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Abhinav. So I will close, and I need a little bit more of your time, because I have a few more things to add to whatever is already been said. I mean, from the work that we've done, we have Abhinav has a vision called the Super 30 program, and effectively it means that we all understand that out of thousands of players, not everybody becomes, of course, a champion, but then we go towards that direction. We want to create champions at the end of the day, be it any sport. Squash specific, we will take an X amount of kids, and then hopefully we'll get the Super 30 where we could have 30 kids who will be playing international and national squash, other kinds of sport. But this road is really tough. Everybody here understands sport to a major extent, and we all know that there's a huge amount of expense which is involved. I know people out here, parents of children who are playing squash, and they know how tough it is, and these are people who do have some financial background. But it's a struggle. The only way to build this is to create of course, from our side, is to create a funnel. You need a funnel right from the grassroots to then become champions. I always say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Champions are not made overnight. You have to start small. You've got to continue that journey. You've got to get each one a chance. And with that, the right support, you need the right amount of coaches, you need the right nutrition, fitness, mental conditioning, all this coming together at every given point of time over their career. And you're talking 10 years, 15 years. That's a lot of support needed. There's a lot of focus needed from every angle, from the parent side, from the athlete. He has to want it. He or she has to want it himself or herself. And then, of course, from the organization side. And I'm not just talking federations, people like us who can really do something, and hopefully we'll be able to do something. But at the end of the day, we really are talking that, and this is why we're having this function, because we need to put it out that you require an X amount of funds to take this to fruition, right? And it's not easy. The sums are, in one way, they're not that big, but yes, they are big also. So a lot of people have asked me, how much money does it take? And they think that, it just takes a few thousand to play. Yeah, of course. I mean, it takes 6,000 rupees maybe just to play as a beginner. But that's not the case. As you go on, people are spending, between intermediate and elite athletes, they're spending more than 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees a month just to play. And then you take in tournaments, you take in travel, you take in fitness, nutrition, mental conditioning. You're talking huge amounts. So you're talking literally a crore and a half a year just to do what you have to do. And there's no given that you're going to become the next, Jeff Davenport or Roger Federer, right? But that's the goal. And that's what an athlete has to want it. They've got to want it for themselves. And then we have to make sure that they can get it. So to put it out in the open, what we are looking for is over the next 5 years, 6 years, we are looking at least something like 25 crores, which we would require to space it out so that we can do what we need to do. And then, take judgment calls along the way, and not waste that money, but use it really effectively so we know that at every given stage there is progress. So this is the kind of funds that we are required. Now, can we get it? I think yes, but it requires this community to take us to all these people. We all know corporates have a huge CSR facility. We need to tap into that, and I'm sure we will, with all our friends around us and the media and everybody. I'm sure we'll be able to get to that, because people will then at least know what Chance to Sports is all about. Without being egoistic, I think Abhinav and me, we have pretty decent sporting backgrounds, so our bona fides are not too bad. And I think that's the way we would like to go. So that's pretty much that's our vision to take it forward. This is the first of its events which we plan to do, and of course just keep meeting more and more people. And we just need your best wishes for this. And thank you for being here, and hope you guys have a good time.
300-400 बच्चे हर 6 महीने साल भर में evaluate होंगे, उसमें से we will choose 30 to come and train full time.
क्राइटेरिया क्या है? एज
8 to 12 के बीच में.
तो सर आप
Younger is better.
आप एज चूज करते हैं, सपोज दैट कोई विलेज का बच्चे हैं, सपोज दैट DRLP का कोई बच्चा है, वो आपको कैसे पहुँचा, उनको नॉलेज कैसे होगा आपके बारे में?
तो अभी अगर वो स्क्वॉश वर्ल्ड में है तो उसको आइडिया है, क्योंकि हमारे प्लेयर अच्छा कर रहे हैं. अभी जैसे हमारे पास एक प्लेयर असम से भी आ रहा है, बट अभी हम लोग यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र लोकल में ही ज़्यादा हेल्प कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि उन प्लेयर्स को यहाँ शिफ्ट होना पड़ेगा. तो ऐसा है कि हमें उस ऐप में क्या है कि वीडियोस अपलोड कर सकते हैं. तो जैसे अभी पूछ रहे थे कि अगर कोई यूपी में है, बिहार में है, असम में है, वो हम तक कैसे पहुँचेगा. तो उसका मेन आइडिया ये है कि उस ऐप में जाके आप अपने वीडियोस अपलोड कर सकते हो, अपना बारे में डाल सकते हो, एंड देन यहाँ पे बैठे बैठे, जैसे मैंने इन सारे वहाँ पे भी 25 बच्चे खेले, बट मैंने सारे 25 बच्चों को नहीं देखा. सिर्फ 8-9 बच्चे जो यहाँ पे आते हैं उनको देखा है, बट बाकी 15 के रेगुलर वीडियोस मुझे पता है कि मैं बोलता हूँ कि नेक्स्ट टाइम इसको भेजो. तो हम काफ़ी टेक को भी यूज़ कर रहे हैं कि एक्सेसिबिलिटी बढ़ी, कि हम हर जगह नहीं जा सकते.
अवेयरनेस के लिए तो अभी जैसे मीडिया यूज कर रहे हैं, तो आपके पास है क्या सर? ये चांस टू स्पोर्ट्स, ये आइडिया किसका और कब बना हो? ये आइडिया
दोनों का ही है, कंबाइंड एफर्ट है.
कब इसकी योजना कब बनी, इसकी शुरुआत कब हुई?
ये शुरुआत तो बहुत पहले से की थी. पहले इसको रोलिंग निक्स प्रोग्राम कहते थे, 2012 के अराउंड.
अच्छा.
फिर हम लोग साथ में जब मिले तो हमने कहा इसको बड़ा कर सकते हैं, तो 5 साल पहले हमने इसको चांस टू स्पोर्ट्स का नाम दिया.
अच्छा, इसमें जो आपको जो प्रक्रिया है लोग को चुनने की, वो किस तरह से कैसे करते हैं?
उसमें हम लोग टैलेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन करते हैं, थोड़ी टेस्टिंग करते हैं, थोड़ा टूर्नामेंट पे जाके प्लेयर्स को देखते हैं.
सोर्स क्या है इसका आपका?
क्या चीज़?
सोर्स कहाँ से पिकअप करने का?
कोई ऐसा फिक्स नहीं है. जहाँ पे भी कोई भी टैलेंट प्लेयर होगा, वी आर ओके टू हेल्प. ऐसा कुछ फिक्स जगह नहीं है.
और कौन कौन से फील्ड में स्पोर्ट्स?
अभी स्क्वॉश पे फोकस कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि वो हमारा एक USP है, और ग्रेजुअली हम मल्टीपल स्पोर्ट्स में जाएंगे इसके बाद.
और ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड या ऑन द रिकॉर्ड, व्हाट इज द बजट ऑफ दिस प्रोजेक्ट?
बजट तो अभी तक हमें ऑलमोस्ट 1 करोड़ रुपए पिछले 2-3 साल में हमने इन प्लेयर्स के ऊपर खर्च किया है. और अभी जैसे इन्होंने बोला, नेक्स्ट एम 25 करोड़ है अगले 5 साल में रेस करने के लिए.
तो जितना पैसा लगता है तो एक्चुअली मेक देम इनटू चैंपियंस. और 10 साल की कहानी है, तो 1 साल में तो बनता नहीं है चैंपियन. फोकस्ड सपोर्ट हम लोग को चाहिए. एवरी एथलीट रिक्वायर्स दैट काइंड ऑफ सपोर्ट. तो उसके लिए जो हम लोग चाह रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए 25 करोड़ का आइडिया है.
स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट.
ओके, थैंक यू.